Dr. Steve Pichenik, and this is Steve Talks. Hello, I'm Dr. Steve Pichenik. Today I want to talk about the Israeli attack against Iran. This is the first time that Israel has directly confronted Iran in Syria. One has to remember that Israel is fronting and approaching 5 different countries: Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and possibly other elements within Lebanon, Hezbollah. Having told you what confronts Israel, Bibi has to consider the fact that he cannot win a war against Iran. The reason for it is very simple. If we go back to the Second Lebanon War in 2006, a senior official of the Israeli IDF, the Defense Force, explained to me that that war was supposed to take 3 days. And the chief of the Air Force, who was not very effective, did not know how to command the ground troops. And in fact, it took 31 days to defeat Hezbollah. At that point, even the Jerusalem Post said that Israel lost the war against Hezbollah, the Iranian-trained so-called terrorists in Lebanon. But they're not terrorists. They're part of the Lebanese army. Now, what happens is that Israel is facing a far greater enemy. The casualty count in 2006 was something along these lines. The Israeli soldiers that were killed, about 3,600 in American equivalents. 36,000 were wounded in American equivalents versus Hezbollah, with only 200 killed and 700 wounded. The point is very simple, that when Israel is going up against Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei, and particularly the head of the Quds services, the Iran Revolutionary Guard, Soleimani, they're going up against a formidable force against which they will not succeed. Despite Israeli airstrikes, you have 30,000 men on the Golan Heights on the Israeli side, and you have over 100,000 missile systems pointed at Israel just from Hezbollah, and not including the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, the Syrian forces, and other elements. What makes this paradoxical is the fact that the United States, despite Trump's denouncing Ayatollah Khamenei and calling Iran a lost country or a despicable country, we nevertheless, under the auspices of Lieutenant General Funk, are working with Soleimani's officials. That means we are, in effect, collaborating with the very enemies who killed us in the 2006 invasion of Iraq. What am I talking about? Iran went in and killed thousands of our soldiers, and then 10 years later, they turning around and saying, you know what, we'll help you out to stabilize Iraq and make it predominantly a Shiite country. So the irony is, while we're threatening Iran, we're at the same time working with the Iranians, particularly Qassam al-Ajari, who is the head of the terrorist organization, was in our prison twice, and he is now the prime minister or the interior minister of Iraq. So imagine for the moment, we're now working with the very enemies who killed our soldiers when we went into Iraq, which was a foolish movement, which was a part of Bolton and the neocon strategy, which was no strategy whatsoever. And it was Bibi who invaded Lebanon when he was told by the chiefs of Mossad, Dagan, Derin, and General Ashkenazi, that he is a coward and totally irresponsible individual. Bibi has had problems with his own Israeli National Defense Force for over 17 years, and he still has problems with him. So whatever war Bibi thinks he's going into with the incompetent Lieberman, who's his vice prime minister, we're going to lose a lot of good Israeli boys, we're going to lose a lot of Iranians, and we're going to lose a lot of civilians for nothing more than a piece of land that nobody wins and nobody gains. So the point of fact here is what Hegel has said in terms of opposites. We have war and peace going at the same time. That's called the dialectic. But in terms of Henry II, in 1170, when he said outwardly, he said, "Who will deal with my noisome priest Becket? Who will rid me of this noisome priest Becket?" I say the same thing of Bibi. Who will rid me of Bibi so we don't have to have a conflagration? Good night and good luck. Hi, this is Dr. Steve Pichenik, and this is Steve Talks.